Hi everyone, in this video today I'm going to be showing you how to start investing with $1,000 to start out with. So things are a little switched around today. Today I'm standing, not at the table over there, and we're out here in the middle of my living room, which I think is a cool change, but it was not a thing I did that I wanted to do, but it's something I've kind of had to do because of necessity. Things are all mixed around, but the message is going to be the same. Today I'm teaching you how to manage your finances, how to start investing and building your wealth with $1,000, and most importantly, how to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you'll be so kind as to do that. Thank you. 2020 has absolutely been a wild year, and if there's one thing that I have seen been true through and through, it is that we need to do a better job, as all of us do, of having our stuff together, because many of us don't. In fact, a study that was recently done this past year showed that 40% of Americans could not cover a $400 expense if it came up and it was a surprise. And that's not good. That is not a good place to be at. We can do better. And so we're going to start right here today. That being said, the very first thing that I'm going to be talking to you guys about today with how to invest best $1,000 is going to be to start an emergency fund if you do not already have one. So an emergency fund is essentially this. It is an insurance policy for your own finances in the event you are unable to work, you lose your job, the economy absolutely tanks again, which is quite possible with the way things are going. Cases are exploding like crazy right now, significantly more than before the lockdowns when cases were not even that high and we shut everything down. So with that said, it is absolutely imperative that you have emergency funds saved up because you don't know when the next lockdown's gonna come, if you'll lose your job, when you'll lose your job, you don't know. And so having at minimum 3 to 6 months worth of expenses is gonna be invaluable for you and for your family in that time. So when it comes to this specifically, I practice what I preach. My wife and I, we keep an emergency fund that is sufficient to cover 6 months worth of necessary base expenses if one of us loses our jobs. And you know what? That came in very handy this year when, in fact, I did back in April lose my job. So having an emergency fund is absolutely invaluable. And if you don't have one currently, the very best way that you can invest in yourself, in your future as well, is to start by getting a solid emergency fund saved up now. And once you have an emergency fund saved up, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is to start paying down any high interest debt that you have, and specifically credit card debt and high interest rate auto loans. Those two are not going to really help you out and make you any money, do anything beneficial for you, but they'll eat away at your money. And so one thing you can do to get an instant guaranteed return on your money is to pay down your high interest debts first. And the way that I look at paying down high interest debts is essentially whatever the interest rate was of the thing that I'm paying down, I'm essentially getting that as a guaranteed return on my investment. Because if I were to run up a large bill on my credit card and just pay the minimum payment and let the balance grow in value by 25 to 30% every year, well, I can just pay that whole thing off and get an immediate return because it's saving me from having to pay all that interest. This is the way that I've used certain savings things, and I'm hoping at some point you can too. And as a benchmark as to what I consider a high interest debt, I would say anything above 5% that is not making you money is considered bad debt and should be dealt with as soon as you can. Moving on to our third investing step here, this is going to be education. The one thing that I have seen is that the best investment that you can make is in yourself. I know that sounds cheesy, corny, whatever you want to say. And also, if we're honest, this is probably not the reason why you clicked on this video. You probably were thinking of, oh, stocks and bonds and mutual funds and ETFs galore. Well, that's coming later, but right now we're covering things that I think are more important, so I mentioned them first. But truly what I have seen in my life and other people's lives is that learning something, being educated on something beyond just surface level can significantly help out your earning potential, get you a new career, and make you much more employable, and so many other things. It can make you more efficient. All these things are working in your benefit to, at some point, eventually turn into increased amounts in dollar value that you earn back. And when I say education, I mean buying into courses, buying books, and taking time to self-study. If that's taking a day off here or there, or just giving yourself that extra time, take the time to invest in yourself. One amazing website you can go to, and this is a little known secret here, one amazing website you can go to get free materials on how to start doing anything, literally anything, it's YouTube. It's right here on YouTube. There are courses and tutorials, walkthroughs for literally everything you can want to do, anything at all. It's here if you want to learn how to manage your money well, invest, learn how taxes work, learn about credit cards and all the awesome finance tricks out there. This is an excellent place to start. But if you want to learn other things, there are so many other creators out there that are doing incredible work, putting out solid information. And in many instances, with the people that teach these things, they're qualified professionals in their field. So it truly is genuine, real information that they're giving you, but they're doing it for free. So I would highly recommend starting on YouTube. If you want to learn a new skill, trade, whatever it is, start here. I know I mentioned courses a minute ago, and don't worry, I'm not going to sell you a course. I'm just letting you know to be cautious about courses. There are so many fake gurus out there that are going to try and sell you something. It's genuinely ridiculous, I think, personally, what they try and get you to buy and pay for, which is already publicly available for free, but they make you pay for it. So I genuinely cringe when I see stuff like that. And so I try very hard to be as opposite of that as I possibly can. And right now I am giving you information any other accountant or consultant, whoever, would literally charge you hundreds of dollars per hour to get. I give to you guys for free several times a week. So if you could really help me out, guys, and just subscribe to the channel. I post, again, like I mentioned, multiple times a week, and I love to be able to help you guys out any way I can. But the one thing that helps me do that better is to have my videos liked and to have you subscribe. If those two things happen, we can continue on doing incredible things for the community. And when it comes to personal finance books, the ones I like the most are going to be Rich Dad, Poor Dad and The 4-Hour Workweek, both of which I'm going to have linked below in case you guys want to check those out. That was number 3. We are moving on now to number 4, and that is going to be to get a professional certification. Now, I'm going to explain things from my perspective as an accountant and how spending $1,000 on investing in yourself and in your career could incredibly increase your earning potential, and I'm going to explain just how to do that. And in a few moments, we're going to be moving on to more traditional investments, so just bear with me. So in the accounting field, there is one main certification that really everyone knows, and that is the CPA. Now, let me clarify, just because someone works as an accountant, that does not mean they are a CPA. It does not mean they have earned their CPA. There's a big distinction there, and there's a lot of work in between those two. Currently, right now, I am an accountant, and I am working towards being able to earn my CPA. So there's a difference there. I do have a bachelor's degree in accounting, an associate's degree in accounting as well, but I am not a CPA yet. So that is the main, most well-known certification for accountants to get. But there is one other one that is lesser known, but has similar perks and privileges to getting a CPA. This is gonna be the Enrolled Agent, or EA certification. Now, this certification specifically deals with taxes, but it is significantly easier to earn and cheaper with all the fees accompanied with it. So in case you don't know, in order to be eligible to sit for the CPA exam, you must check off several boxes that the AICPA organization requires you to do, and that varies by state, so I'm not going to go through and list all those. But in this state, it requires you to have 150 college credit hours, several advanced courses completed in accounting, tax, and auditing, and several other things as well. You must work for at least 1 year under the direct supervision of another CPA. And once you've done all this, you are then eligible to sit for the exam. But it's not just one exam, it's 4. There's 4 exams, and they're constantly changing them, and they are incredibly challenging. And so what I would really recommend for you guys, if you do want to go this route to earn a CPA, you're going to want to do it as early as you can, because life gets more hectic, more busy, and the tests are not getting any simpler as time goes on. In fact, they're getting more challenging and complex as more new tax laws that are more and more complex than the previous years are introduced, and the new ones are required to be integrated into the new test material. That said, if you're going to get it soon. And with all the test fees and study materials, you're looking at a $2,000 grand total for the entire CPA certification fees. But once you get through all that and you're a CPA, your earning potential is significantly increased with just those 3 little letters at the end of your name on LinkedIn. Now, I have compared several numbers to come to the number that I'm about to tell you, but within a year of passing the CPA exams and becoming a full-fledged CPA, you will have an earning potential that is increased by $30,000 at the maximum, additionally to what you are currently making. Now, this is assuming a couple different factors, but you could potentially get a $30,000 raise in 1 year by earning your CPA. So if you're going to get a professional certification and you want to do accounting, there it is. There's the certification to get, is the CPA. But if all those tests and high fees scare you, getting an EA or an enrolled agent certification is going to be significantly cheaper, shorter, and easier process. In total, all the fees for getting your EA will be about $1,000. This will give you an increased earning potential of up to $10,000 for the first year after you've earned your certification. All right, guys, so we are now moving into the thing that you came here to know, and that is the more traditional investments, which you can get a significant start in with just $1,000. After you have gone through and checked out the previous things that I have mentioned, this is going to be the thing to do, and this is going to be the best way to start, and that is going to be to open a Roth IRA. First and foremost, once you do that, start inputting as much as you can into it. In this instance, we're putting in $1,000 to start out with. And when you go ahead to set this up, you have so many brokerages you can try and go with. I highly recommend Fidelity. They are incredible. They have relatively low fees for their stuff, but a brokerage account with them will enable you to get access to some of the highest earning mutual funds that currently exist. Now, I've done a full video on this previously, but I'll link it above me here. But if you invest just $76 per month into the mutual fund FSCSX through Fidelity, you can retire a millionaire after 40 years. Just 40 years of investing, you can be a millionaire for literally just over $2 a day. If you're taking any advice from this video, understand this: starting investing as early as you possibly can is one of the absolute best things you can do, and it is the #1 best way to increase your odds of one day becoming a millionaire. It's just starting as early as you possibly can, investing as much as you can, as often as you can. If you do that, it's only a matter of time before you're a millionaire. And I'm sure you're thinking now, oh, but Nate, I can't just go and invest in this and that. What if the market drops? Well, I understand your frustrations. I do, and we saw a big drop this year, so that's a very, very real thing to be concerned about. But I will say that if you invest consistently into diversified index and mutual funds, you will have your money sufficiently spread out and hedged in the event of a big market drop. So in the highly unlikely scenario that everything drops to zero and you lose all of your money, you will have significantly bigger things to worry about than your stock portfolio. That'll be literally the end of the world, because that would mean there are no more companies out there. At that point, basically, it'll be like you're right here, and then all of a sudden, just... And so what I'm really trying to say by this is the biggest risk to you is going to be to do nothing with the time that you have. You have so much time right now to start investing for your future. Just start now with a little bit and then build from there. It doesn't have to be $1,000 overnight, but just start with $10, $20, whatever you can do. Start with that right now, and it will grow exponentially in the future. And so when it comes to specific stock recommendations, I would recommend first checking out mutual funds and index funds. So FSCSX is a great start. But when it comes to index funds, S&P 500 index funds are the way to go. They're incredible. Over the past 80 years, I believe, they have averaged a 10% return. So they're very, very stable, and they can get you a decent return on the money that you put in. And so if you've already done that and you still want to buy into individual stocks, companies like Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, Google, many of those companies have been around for a good long while now, and I don't personally see them going anywhere anytime soon. So those will be good companies to park your money with while you grow your portfolio. If you have gotten this far, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Now keep in mind the things that I mentioned today, this is going to be your start into investing. There are so many other things out there to know and to see. But for today, this is going to be your step 1. Start doing these things here, and they will help you out and serve you significantly better in the future. And if there's going to be one common message throughout all these items, this is going to be to pay it forward to your future self by making things a little bit easier for future you. And with that said, that's it for me for this week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.